Here's a little news you can use if you're a black Indianapolis gangbanger in Chicago for the funeral of your cousin, another gangbanger. So if after the funeral you want to do your "I'm from Indianapolis, that's where the real gangsters live and I'm going to prove it to you" act, don't do it in Mount Greenwood. That's where all the cops, firefighters, retired cops, retired firefighters, and all their families live.
A man is dead after being shot and killed by Chicago police in the city's Mount Greenwood neighborhood. Now, according to police, this shooting happened after the man who was in town for a funeral started fighting with an off-duty firefighter. Our Elizabeth Matthews joins us now with details. Elizabeth?
Scott, this altercation quickly escalated and involved a group of people fighting with an off-duty firefighter and a police sergeant who happened to be driving by and spotted a man holding a gun. This shooting was all caught on camera by a witness, and a warning here: may be hard to watch.
This cell phone video appears to show a verbal and physical fight that led to a deadly police officer-involved shooting Saturday afternoon. This video was shot by a witness who walks away from the fight in progress, but then captures the shots fired in her video. One man was fatally struck. His family identifies him as a 25-year-old Josh Beal, a father of two from Indianapolis, in town to be a pallbearer at his cousin's funeral.
My son graduated from college, from Ivy Tech Community College. He's his own business owner, operator. He take care of his family.
Police tell us it happened around 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon near 111th and Troy in the city's Mount Greenwood neighborhood. That's when an off-duty firefighter tried notifying a driver they were parked illegally in front of a firehouse. Police say the people in the car got out, started fighting with the firefighter and an off-duty police officer also in the area. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson is calling it a road rage incident.
A subject displayed a weapon. An off-duty CPD sergeant that was on his way to work in uniform observed the subject. At that time, shots were fired and the subject was fatally struck.
Beal was rushed to Advocate Christ Medical Center where he died. His family disputes the department's story, saying an off-duty officer cut off one of the vehicles in the funeral procession.
They shot him twice in his back and 3 times in his front.
Soon after the shooting went down, all of a sudden Black Lives Matter in Chicago got wind of it and they headed out to Mount Greenwood. Ignoring the advice of good old Colin, that's probably not where you want to do your Black Lives Matter thing, because there it probably takes about 10 seconds to get a Blue Lives Matter protest going, and that's what they ran into. First they tried to pull this victim card. "We're just glad we assisted with getting the Beal family out safely last night." The racist hate in Mount Greenwood felt like 1950s Alabama. We are not strange fruit. Our death is becoming all too common. The pro-cop Mount Greenwood residents wanted blood. The extrajudicial murder of Joshua Beal wasn't enough. They wanted to lynch us too. Make no mistake. When they shout Blue Lives Matter after black people are killed, they are celebrating our murder. And it kind of goes on from there. Lots of stories of black victimization, how the guy wasn't doing nothing, how he got shot for no reason whatsoever. And then they ran into these guys. Oh, by the way, yeah, here's a picture of the guy who wasn't doing nothing. That's him with the gun. He's pointing the gun at this guy. That's the off-duty cop. Pretty soon after, the Black Lives Matter crowd showed up. They're used to just walking into places, seeing people cower, seeing white people scamper away. But they chose the wrong neighborhood if they expected that kind of treatment there. Because the treatment they got there was from the highest concentration of police, firemen, active duty, and retired, and their family and friends in the city of Chicago. So they went out there and did their thing, and they said they were just going to provide aid and comfort to the family of the gangster who just got killed, pulled a gun on a cop, off-duty cop, and pretty soon they were met with this. Bunch of people going, hey, you ruined our communities. You ruined your communities. Don't ruin ours. Well, the Black Lives Matter people, they don't really like that. I mean, people who do this virtue display, almost always for no reason whatsoever. But if you push back on them a little bit, they don't know what's going on. They can't take it. So pretty soon, the people from Black Lives Matter are talking about how white people are driving and buying cars, dropping N-bombs, dropping F-bombs, and all this kind of stuff. Here's the weird thing about that. Everybody in Black Lives Matter had their video cameras out. They come complete with video and audio. Nobody caught that. Nobody caught a single white person throwing anything, threatening anything, dropping N-bombs, F-bombs. Nothing happened on video. In other words, we have another coincidence, part of the world's largest coincidence. Everybody's videos and audio went down at the exact same time. Kind of the same coincidence you get when all this black criminality, black on white crime, and black mob violence happens one after another. It's all involving black people. And then people say, Colin, race had nothing to do with that. Well, it's just a coincidence, right? It's a coincidence, the world's largest coincidence. Well, that's how they roll in Chicago. They get away with that world's largest coincidence thing with the cops. They get away with the police reporters. They get away with the TV news guys. They get away with it with public officials. All because everybody up there just doesn't want to make the black kids angry.